I know that might sound strange. You've been told for years, drink more water. It's good for you. But here's the truth. Most men over 50 drink water the wrong way for their sexual health. The wrong timing, the wrong amounts, and sometimes even the wrong type. And when you fix this, you can actually improve your circulation, your energy, and yes, your erections. Today, I'm going to walk you through why water is so important for your sexual function, how dehydration slowly sabotages your performance, and exactly how to drink water in a way that supports strong, lasting erections after 50. By the end of this video, you'll see why I call water one of the most underrated performance enhancers in the world. Let's start with something simple, but so often overlooked. An erection is at its core a hydraulic event. Think about it. Just like a garden hose needs water pressure to work, your erectile tissue needs a steady, powerful flow of blood to fill it, expand it, and keep it firm. And here's the key point. Your blood is mostly water. Without enough water in your system, your blood volume drops, circulation slows, and that perfect pressure you need for a full erection is compromised. It's not just a theory. I see it in my patients all the time. Men who are even mildly dehydrated often describe their erections as weaker, slower to build, or quick to fade. When you're not drinking enough, your body isn't just a little thirsty. It switches into a kind of conservation mode, a survival setting that prioritizes the brain, the heart, and other essential organs. These get the first pick of your reduced blood supply. Unfortunately, in the hierarchy of survival, your penis doesn't make the priority list. Even if your mind is in the mood, your body may literally be unable to send enough blood to create and sustain firmness. And that's before we even talk about how much energy is lost when your cells are dehydrated, something that can directly sap your desire in the first place. There's also another hidden issue. Dehydration thickens your blood. Imagine pouring water through a straw. Easy, right? Now imagine trying to push syrup through that same straw. Thicker blood has a harder time traveling quickly through your arteries, especially the smaller ones that supply the penis. And here's where age adds another challenge. After 50, blood vessels tend to be less flexible due to natural changes in collagen, nitric oxide production, and possible plaque buildup. So, if your arteries are already a little stiff, the last thing you need is sluggish, sticky blood making its way through them. The result? You may notice erections that feel halfway there, ones that take more effort to achieve, or ones that disappear before you're ready. It's not necessarily a hormone problem or a mental block. Sometimes it's as basic as your body trying to run a hydraulic system with not enough fluid in the pipes. And the beautiful part? This is one of the easiest issues to fix once you know how. Now, you might be thinking, all right, I've got it. I'll just drink more water. And while that's a good instinct, here's the surprising truth. Most men don't just underdrink water, they also drink it the wrong way. Yes, there is such a thing. One of the biggest mistakes I see is the panic chug. This is when a man realizes he hasn't had enough water all day, then suddenly downs 2 or 3 big glasses at once, especially right before intimacy. The idea is to flood the system, but in reality, this can do more harm than good. Why? Because rapidly drinking large amounts can dilute your blood sodium too quickly, a condition called hyponatremia. It doesn't just make you feel bloated, it can cause headaches, dizziness, and even muscle weakness. On top of that big load of water puts extra strain on your bladder. Instead of focusing on intimacy, you're distracted by the pressure of needing to urinate. That's not exactly the kind of performance enhancement you were hoping for. Another common error is what I call the desert and flood cycle. This happens when you go for hours without drinking anything, letting yourself dry out like a plant in the sun, and then try to make up for it in the evening with several glasses at once. The problem is that your body thrives on consistency. Your cells, your blood vessels, and yes, your erectile tissue all best when they're steadily hydrated throughout the day. The big floods followed by long droughts keep your system swinging from one extreme to another, which is hard on your kidneys, your heart, and your circulation. And here's something most people don't realize. Thirst is a lagging indicator. If you're waiting to drink until you feel thirsty, you're already behind. By the time your brain sends that thirst signal, your body has already adjusted to a mild dehydration state, blood flow has already slowed, and your erectile tissue may already be operating at less than full capacity. That's why simply listening to thirst isn't enough for peak sexual health. If you're over 50, your body is also less efficient at conserving and distributing water compared to when you were younger. This means dehydration hits you harder and affects your performance more quickly. The solution isn't just more water, it's smarter water. Drinking at the right times in the right amounts, so your system always has what it needs for both everyday function and intimate moments. Here's what I recommend for my patients, and honestly, it's so simple you might be tempted to dismiss it, but don't. The first thing I tell them is to start the morning with a tall glass of water. And I mean tall, at least 300 to 400 milliliters. Within 20 minutes of waking up, think about what your body's been doing all night. You've been breathing, sweating lightly, and filtering waste through your kidneys for 7 to 8 hours without taking in a single drop of fluid. You wake up in a mild dehydration state, whether you feel it or not. That morning, glass acts like the first flush of the day for your system. It rehydrates your cells, wakes up your blood vessels, and signals your kidneys to start efficiently clearing out toxins that build up overnight. And because erections rely on healthy circulation, this early rehydration is like priming a pump before you run it. If you want to make that morning glass even more powerful for vascular health, I recommend adding a small pinch, not a heap, of pink Himalayan salt and the juice of half a fresh lemon. That combination isn't for taste alone. The natural minerals in the salt, like magnesium and potassium, help restore electrolyte balance that's essential for proper muscle contraction and nerve function, including the smooth muscles in your arteries that allow blood to rush into the penis. The lemon. It delivers vitamin C, a potent antioxidant that helps protect nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly in your bloodstream. Nitric oxide is the gas your body produces to relax blood vessels, allowing them to open wide. Protecting it means stronger, longer-lasting erections. From there, the strategy shifts to what I call the steady drip. Instead of relying on a couple of big water intakes during the day, aim to sip smaller amounts, roughly half a glass every 45 to 60 minutes. Think of this like keeping your garden hose under consistent pressure rather than turning it off for hours and then blasting it on full force. That slow, steady hydration keeps blood volume optimal, prevents the sluggishness that comes with mild dehydration, and allows your cardiovascular system to function at its best all day long. This is particularly important if you're planning on any physical activity. And yes, intimacy absolutely counts as physical activity. Well-hydrated muscles, including your pelvic floor muscles, don't just perform better, they recover faster too. And the pelvic floor is critical in intimacy. It's what controls the firmness of your erection, your ability to sustain it, and the force of your climax. If those muscles are tired, tight, or underhydrated, performance suffers. Now, here's a tip my male patients really appreciate. If you know you're going to be intimate later in the evening, keep up your steady sipping throughout the day, but stop drinking large amounts about 45 minutes before. That gives your body enough time to process the last intake without leaving you distracted by a full bladder when things heat up. You'll still have the benefits of hydrated blood vessels and responsive muscles, but without that awkward pause, the moment trip to the bathroom. We've talked a lot about blood flow, but hydration's role in sexual health goes deeper into hormones and nerve signaling. Testosterone production is a multi-step process that heavily depends on healthy kidney and adrenal gland function. The kidneys filter your blood, maintain electrolyte balance, and regulate fluid levels in a way that directly supports hormonal stability. The adrenal glands, which sit just above the kidneys, are partly responsible for producing testosterone precursors. When your body is low on water, both systems have to work harder to keep you alive. That stress response triggers more cortisol production, your main stress hormone, and unfortunately, cortisol and testosterone don't get along. High cortisol suppresses testosterone production, which over time can lower your libido, energy levels, and overall sexual performance. And then there's the electrical side of things, nerve function. Erections aren't simply about pushing blood into the penis. They're about sending an incredibly precise sequence of signals from your brain down your spinal cord, through your pelvic nerves, and into the smooth muscle of the penis. Those signals need to be fast, strong, and well coordinated. When you're dehydrated, the fluid balance in and around your nerve cells is altered, which can slow down those impulses. The result is delayed arousal, a less spontaneous erection, or even difficulty maintaining it because the communication lines are lagging. Being well hydrated keeps the sodium-potassium pump in your nerve cells functioning efficiently, which is what allows signals to travel quickly and without distortion. That's why a well-hydrated man often describes his erections as just happening rather than having to work hard to make them happen. It's the difference between a smooth, high-speed internet connection and a buffering video. Hydration also supports nitric oxide synthesis at the cellular level, and nitric oxide is what turns the nerve signal into an actual erection by telling your penile arteries to open up. So, when you combine steady daily hydration, smart electrolyte support, and a diet rich in nitric oxide-friendly nutrients, you're giving both the hardware and the software of your sexual system the best chance to perform. Some men tell me confidently, "Oh, I drink plenty of water." But when I dig a little deeper and start asking exactly what they're drinking, the truth comes out. Most of it is in the form of coffee, tea, soda, or even alcohol. While these drinks contain water, they also have compounds that can work against you. Coffee and black tea, for example, are mild diuretics. They stimulate your kidneys to flush out fluid faster, which means for every cup you drink, you might be losing more water than you think. Alcohol takes it a step further. It inhibits the hormone that helps your body retain water, leading to more frequent urination and, in turn, faster dehydration. The tricky part is that mild dehydration doesn't always feel dramatic. You might not be parched or dizzy, but your body can still be running at a deficit. One of the most reliable ways to check is by looking at your urine color. Pale straw yellow usually means you're well hydrated, but if it's consistently a darker yellow, your body is waving a quiet flag that it needs more fluids. Another sign many men ignore is that mid-afternoon slump, that heavy, sluggish feeling where your eyelids start to close. Often, it's not just low energy or hunger. It's your body trying to conserve resources because your blood volume is slightly reduced. Dry mouth is an obvious red flag, but one of the lesser-known clues is muscle cramping, especially in the calves or thighs at night. You might chalk it up to aging or overuse, but cramps are often linked to both dehydration and low electrolytes like magnesium and potassium. Without enough fluid, your muscles don't contract and relax as smoothly, making them more likely to seize up while you're resting. And here's one more subtle but important sign: weaker or less frequent morning erections. Since nighttime and early morning erections rely heavily on optimal blood flow and nerve signaling, dehydration can reduce their frequency and firmness without you even realizing why. Now, here's where the magic really happens. Water on its own is powerful, but when you pair proper hydration with other performance-boosting habits, you multiply the benefits. Think of it like upgrading your engine and your fuel at the same time. For example, circulation-friendly foods such as beets, spinach, berries, and salmon help keep your arteries supple, reduce inflammation, and elevate nitric oxide production, the very molecule responsible for relaxing and expanding your blood vessels. When your body is well hydrated, these nutrients can be delivered more efficiently to the tissues that need them, including those in your pelvic region. Physical activity is another ally. Even something as simple as a brisk 20-minute walk increases blood flow to the lower half of your body, improving nutrient delivery and waste removal from your muscles and erectile tissue. But here's the kicker. If you're dehydrated, that exercise benefit is cut short. Your blood is thicker, your heart works harder, and your muscles tire faster. Hydration ensures that the increased circulation from exercise actually reaches your pelvic muscles and erectile tissue in full force. And we can't forget about sleep, because without quality rest, all of this effort starts to crumble. Your body produces most of its testosterone during the deepest stages of sleep, and dehydration can sabotage that process in two ways. First, it can cause you to wake up more often, either from thirst or from an elevated heart rate as your body tries to compensate for lower blood volume. Second, poor hydration can increase nighttime urination, breaking up those deep sleep cycles even further. The result, lower testosterone, poorer recovery, and weaker morning performance. When you drink water steadily throughout the day, not too much at once, but consistently, you're doing more than just quenching thirst. You're laying the groundwork for better circulation, stronger erections, and higher testosterone. Add in the right foods, regular activity, and quality sleep, and you have a powerful formula for not just better sexual health, but better overall vitality as you age. Gentlemen, I've seen men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s transform their intimacy and energy levels by making this one change. Water is not just about avoiding thirst. It's about fueling the very systems that make you feel alive, confident, and capable. When you hydrate consistently, you're giving your heart, your blood vessels, your nerves, and your hormones the conditions they need to perform at their best. So, tomorrow morning, start with that glass of water. Drink steadily through the day and notice how over the next week or two, your energy rises, your mood lifts, and yes, your erections become more dependable. Small changes add up, and this one costs nothing, has no side effects, and benefits your whole body. I'm Dr. Sophia Carter, and I believe your best years can still be ahead of you. It starts with caring for the basics.